Hi, I'm Christopher Burgon. I own and run Christopher Burgon Solicitors. We are specialist litigation and commercial solicitors based in London. Congratulations, you've made it through to number 7. That's the last of our 7 steps for separating from your business partners, your fellow director and shareholders without going to court. So let's recap, where have we got to? We decided right at the very beginning with our fellow director and shareholders that we weren't going to do anything bad in the company. Again, we were going to fulfill our obligations as directors and make sure that the company was run properly and successfully to maintain shareholder value for everyone. We then decided who should control the company. If we had a bad director shareholder who was still ripping the company off, we were going to take control. Hopefully that wasn't necessary, and so there's been no need for control. But anyway, the company is controlled by the person that it should be. The third one that we looked at was we decided what was the rough value of the company and where the value in the company lay. And we also looked at what effect on the value of the company previous misbehavior would have had. How much money has been taken out of the company by other people, how much money was lost by directors and shareholders undermining the business and competing against it. Based on all of that, we then sat down and says, right, who is going to buy out who? Do you have the funds to buy out your other shareholder? Does the other shareholder have the necessary funds to buy out you? You've made that decision, so you know if you're staying or you know if you're selling your shares and moving on. Very important. So after those 4 steps, we finally got down to the crux of it, which was the valuation. My recommendation is to get an expert valuation based on a fair value. That's because the courts will look at a fair value, and that fair value will include not just the commercial value of the shares, but will also take account of any losses to the company caused by others' misbehavior, breach of their obligations. Then we got into 6. Based on all of that, there was negotiation between you and the other party. Really, the big decision should have already been made, but there's always something that's going to come up. Maybe there was an unresolved issue, such as the ownership of IP. So we looked at without prejudice and mediation as ways of negotiating a settlement. And now we come to number 7. Everybody's in agreement. Everybody knows who's buying what shares and for what price. You need to do it properly. You need a share sale agreement. Won't just deal with the big ones that we've just mentioned, like price and transfer of shares. It'll also deal with the resignation of someone as a director, and it'll deal with all the important issues going forward. If there's a reason for a court case in the past, it will probably include a full and final settlement clause, which means that all of that is forgiven and forgotten, or well, from a legal sense anyway, if not personally. And very importantly, it will decide who gets control of the confidential information, and almost certainly include restrictive covenants on the parties so that they can't immediately leave the company and start competing against it. Or if that's what's been agreed, they can leave the company and can set up in competition with it if that's what you're happy with. That's why you have a share sale agreement. Shares are also treated in the law like real property, so you need a proper document transferring the shares from one party to another, and stamp duty is payable on any share transfer over £1,000. So that's it, final settlement. You've agreed everything. You need to execute it properly with a properly drafted share sale agreement, and make sure that all tax is properly paid, all filings are done at Companies House, and then the company and you can move on into the future free from the person you wanted to leave in the first place. Thanks very much for watching. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions or you want to make any comments, please do so underneath. If you'd like to speak to me directly, I'd love to hear from you. Please go onto the website, click the book a meeting button. That takes you straight through to my calendar. That books a 30-minute slot with me. Alternatively, drop me a line or give us a call. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks very much.